Hello, happy Wednesday. And what have I been up to? I'm glad you asked because I've done a whole video about it. Well, I haven't done it yet, I'm doing it now. So last week I showed you some yellow and purple wool and said, like emphatically showed you and said I'm going to weave this, and I did, and it's finished. It's not wet finished, I haven't washed it yet, so it's still got all the little ends on it because I finished twisting the fringe yesterday and I knew if I washed it yesterday it wasn't going to be dry for today. So this is the purple end and this is the yellow end. And then in the middle, they meet and do that. And it has come out exactly as I hoped it would, so I'm pretty pleased with it. So as you can see, maybe, it's a clasped warp. There's a P in that. Let me get a little example bit here somewhere. Here we go, maybe. I'll show you on this side. So if I get close, it's still got the ends because I haven't wet finished. So the yellow comes down to here and then it's purple after that, and that's basically because I take, how to explain this in a way that's going to make sense when it comes out of my face, I don't know. So ordinarily when you warp up, you take your thread from one end all the way down to the other and then back again, and you've just got the one yarn throughout with a clasped with a P in it warp. You take your yarn from one end, you lock it in place with the other yarn in the middle, and then those two yarns go back the way they came, and that's how you get this colour change in the middle, which does that. So the actual stripes, these bits are the same all the way through. It is 11 rows of yellow, 11 rows of purple, 11. The reason it's 11 is so that my colour changes, you can see my little bits where I haven't trimmed it off yet, it's to alternate the side, because if you do an even number you end up with all of your colour changes on the one side unless you change how you weave. I didn't want to have to think about it that much, so I just did an odd number so that I could alternate where the colour change was, and you end up with a more even finish, theoretically. Few little tension problems with this, but I was expecting that because clasped warp, I don't know why I keep leaving the P out, I've got to put the P in, often does have tension issues, so I'm not too concerned. But I'm going to give this a wash and get it settled and wet finished, and we'll see how it comes out. And if I remember, I will show you next week. And if I don't remember, pretend I never said anything. But yeah, that is exactly how I wanted it to come out. So I am very, very pleased with it so far. We'll see how pleased I am with it after I've washed it. So I do have something else on the loom, sort of. It looks like this currently. So that is not exactly ready to go. I still haven't quite finished warping up, but I'll tell you what it's going to be. I'm going to do one more weaving project before I go back on the bags. Sounds like an addiction, doesn't it? Which is not far off. I'm just folding this gently. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the thing that's going on the loom. So let me get the yarn for that and I'll talk you through what I'm going to do with it. And it's not going to make a lot of sense. I was hoping to have it started by the time I started recording, but I'm losing light, it's late afternoon, I've been out for lunch and I didn't have time to get it started. So let me get my yarn out and we'll talk about what I'm doing. Here we go. So let me just hang that back on the, I keep saying please let me do something, like you can stop me. I am a law unto myself. I'm just going to hang that on the tripod. So this is the yarn that I'm going with next. It is Hobie Yarn Glitter Delight, and that's falling apart there, but that's okay. Look at the colours in that. It is thank you, I agree. It is beautiful, and I've been looking at it, eyeing it off for ages, thinking I want to do something a bit special with that, which is not, it's not a particularly special yarn, it's not a limited edition. I can go and buy another 20 balls of this right now if I want to, and I kind of do want to, because look at the colours in that. So what I'm going to do is play with the texture a little bit. So as you saw in the photo, I'll put the photo back up again in case you weren't looking at the screen or you weren't paying attention. I'm so offended. It's a very, very thin cotton warp because I don't want to lose too much of this colour behind a warp, even if it's a white warp. And then I've got this, which is cotton slub. And I'll show you what I mean by cotton slub if you're unfamiliar with the term. Oh, maybe I can't show you. Maybe I need to just put my yarn down for a minute. Just let me do this. Shake the tripod gently. Pop that there. Shake the tripod some more. So, cotton slub is cotton like that. I don't know if you can see. So it's thick and thin. So some of it's spun tightly as a normal... That's not focused at all, is it? And then there's sort of thicker bits in it. This doesn't work for warp. I've tried it. I'm sure people more skilled than me can deal with it. But because these loosely spun bits don't really have the strength, they stretch and your tension goes everywhere. So what I'm going to do, just let me get my yarn back, just let me. I'm going to do a clasped weft, which is like a clasped warp, but the other way. I'll put up a photograph of something that I've done with this technique. So here's a photograph of something with a clasped weft. I don't know, I can't tell you anything about this project because I don't know which one it is. It depends which photo I find first. So basically with the clasped warp, it's 2 different colours from the ends. With a clasped weft, same principle, 2 yarns coming in from the side, so it's a horizontal change, linking in the middle and then going back the way they came. And I'm doing it with this, and it's either going to work or it's not, but we're going to have a go. And the reason I'm doing that is because it is going to be a fun way to play with the texture of this. This is really soft and fluffy, and combining it with a really thin mesh I think will be interesting. I don't know it's going to work. I'm not convinced. I haven't convinced myself. I'm just going to jump in and do it on the basis that if it doesn't work, I can unweave it, and I won't have cut this yarn because of the technique, so I can reuse this for something else if it turns into a disaster. Or I can just buy more. This is not special, this is not limited edition, this is not hand dyed in the mountains of Nepal. It's mass produced, so it's beautiful. I've got to get over that thing that it's special, because it's not, but it is beautiful. So that's what's happening with the weaving. Not quite ready to start weaving on that loom just yet, but I am nearly ready. I will start that tonight. And the other thing that I'm doing is the cross stitch, sort of. So I've got a tiny little amount of progress on the cross stitch. Let me get the cross stitch out. My problem currently, it's not really a problem. My problem currently is Stardew Valley, which is a video game where you have a farm, and it takes up all of your spare time. And then I found out quite recently that We Love Katamari is out, the remastered, which is a video game where you are a tiny little prince from the cosmos and you roll a ball around. It makes sense if you've played it. You roll a ball around the world and collect things, and that's taking up quite a lot of my evenings. That's when I cross stitch. So I keep sort of going, oh, it's midnight. I haven't done anything on the stitching. So here's what it looked like last week. I'm going to stop blathering on about games. Here's what it looked like last week. And here's what it's looking like now. Am I in shot? Yes. So basically all I have really done is a little bit up here. And I need to get a wriggle on to get that a little bit more done would be nice. So I'm gonna make a concentrated effort to actually put some time aside every day, because I do enjoy working on it. I just keep playing video games until all hours of the night, which has kind of always been my downfall when it comes to my creative time. So not a lot of progress this week. I still haven't got those tea stains out. They will come out. They will maybe come out. They might come out at some point. I don't know. So that's where we're at with the cross stitch. Not a huge amount of progress. I haven't even completely finished. I was going to show you the back. I'm not going to show you the back. Haven't even really completely finished the thread. I've still got a thread on the needle on that at the moment. But it is coming along slowly. But that is what I have for you this week. I feel like I've thrown a lot of words at you, and some of them may not have made sense. So if there's anything that I have said in this video and you're thinking, what a strange thing to say, do let me know in the comments. I will try and clarify my not very organised waffle. So that is all I have for you this week. I think I've said that. I'm going to say it again. That's all I have for you this week. You have a lovely rest of your week and a lovely start of next week as well. Why not? Treat yourself. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.